You got him for abreast, often imitated, never duplicated, the greatest show under the world of outlaws.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Dre Broadcasting Network tonight as we go side by side again with the Extreme Motorsports 99. We are coming to you live from Iowa Speedway for Round 5. This is the KC Store 150. That's the KC Store 150 Round 5 of the Extreme Motorsports 99.com Pro K&N Series, brought to you by Extreme Motorsports 99. I'm your commentator, Sean Zulu. I am joined up in the Dre Broadcasting booth by my partner in crime and producer David Everly. How are you tonight, Dave?
I'm doing great. How you doing, Sean?
Oh, doing good too, thank you. After having an amazing race last week at Charlotte Motor Speedway, ready to tackle a new track, a new adventure right here at Iowa Speedway. And Dave, speaking of tonight's race, what are we dealing with?
Taking a look at the weather, it's going to be a cool night out here at Iowa, 78 degrees, track temperature 78 degrees. Wind is going to be out of the north at 2 miles an hour under partly cloudy conditions.
And the drivers, as usual, are accompanied by a 50% fuel limit. That is accompanied by a 50% fuel limit. That is 50, giving us 2 to 3 required pit stops in order for the drivers to be able to make it the full length of the way, which is 100 laps. That is 100. And scanning the whole entire field, these drivers have been running 22 to 23 second lap times all race long, well, all night long in practice and qualifying here this far. So they're running about 2 laps per minute. So with that said, we're going to be seeing a lot of hard racing going on here, and with all that speed comes a lot of tire wear, so a lot of tire conservation will be needed. Just a recap from last week's race, the drive for COPD 125 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. We had Travis Pryor bring it home for his second win of the season. Christopher Smith came on second, Caleb Daniels third, Wally Tierheimer fourth, Ralph Vanderforst, Mr. Highside himself, fifth, Jeremy Rigney sixth, Vernon Margheim 7th, Eli Green 8th, 05 of Tommy Amasi 9th, and Tommy Amasi as well does have 2 wins under his belt this far. Gary Woolbot came out 10th, and that did round up the top 10. Well, moving on to our current point standings, Tommy Amasi is still leading in points, Travis Pryor 2nd, Eli Green 3rd, Gary Woolbot 4th, Damian Crump and Wally Tierheimer, that is Damian Crump and Wally Tierheimer tied for 5th place in points. Garrett Helmlinger 6th, Caleb Daniels 7th, Timothy Hamlet 8th, Adam Eisenhower 9th, and Jeremy Rigney is rounding up the top 10 here, starting tonight's race, round 5 Iowa Speedway for the Casey Store 150. And looking in the chat, we have our very, very faithful viewers in the chat. Thank you for coming back, ladies and gentlemen. And for the new viewers, say hello, do not be shy, and welcome to the Dre Broadcasting Network. Gonna give a couple of shout outs here. We do have Dummer Boy 12, but I hear it's supposed to be Drummer Boy 12. So Drummer Boy, welcome back. Blake Tolliver in the chat. Boogity boogity, absolutely. Two Wheel Pursuit in the chat. And yes, we hope you are doing good too there, Two Wheel Pursuit. Let's see who else here in the chat. We have Pat T in the chat. Welcome back, Pat T. Always good to see you every single race, week after week. We have BL Dalton 85 Gaming. Welcome back, Dalton. It's good to have you back, and I believe that is most likely one of our drivers, one of the new drivers here to the Pro K&N Series, Brandon Dalton. But Brandon in the chat, if I am wrong, please correct me. And Brandon Slaw as well in the chat. Brandon Slaw is rooting for his team, the Gillen Motorsports team, here tonight. Blake Tolliver again. Let's see, Cameron Colby. That's Cameron Colby. We have Tama S. Tama S. Welcome to Dre Broadcasting Network. Same with you, Cameron Colby. Hope you guys are doing well and have enough popcorn to last the length of the race. We have Duramax AD3. That is Duramax AD3. Welcome to Dre Broadcasting Network, Duramax, and we hope you guys are doing well. And we see Joanne Pryor. Oh, well, look at that. We have some more Pryors in the chat. Joanne Pryor, welcome back, Joanne Pryor. Let's see, rooting for... Oh, that is actually... Oh, Travis Pryor's mom. Okay, that's amazing, Joanne. Welcome to Dre Broadcasting Network. Your son does an amazing job here, week after week. Travis Pryor. And we have Mad Shoot Stuff. Welcome back. Joshua Gillen as well in the chat. Good to see you guys. Look forward to seeing you in Victory Lane tonight, Joshua. Same with you, Brandon Slaw. It's going to be a battle between the two of you guys. And looks like here in the race, the grading session has now begun, and looks like the grid is ready. Last week's winner, 81, Travis Pryor, taking the pole here tonight. 48 of Christopher Smith, second. Dakota Craig, third. Brian Wasserman, fourth. Jay Pryor starting fifth. Garrett Helmlinger, sixth. Caleb Daniels, seventh. Brandon Slaw, eighth. Jeremy Rigney, ninth. Wally Tierheimer, 10th. And so far rounding up the top 10. Damian Crump, 11th. Chris Voiles, 12th. Adam Eisenhower, 13th. Timothy McBrayer, 14th. We have David White, 15th. Gary Woolbot, 16th. Jason Eisenhower, 17th. 05 Tommy Amasi points leader, who has been for the last couple of races, starting 18th. Eli Green, 19th. And Andrew Riley in the 20th place spot, rounding up the top 20. The 49 of Timothy Hamlet, 21st. And Timothy Hamlet here tonight being the last driver to qualify. The drivers racing here, let's see. We have Garrett Robinson, Brandon Doughton, Matt Rigway, Jason Anderson, Rick Mason, and Hal Amy racing tonight. And that's going to give us roughly 24 to 25 car field. But we are going to find out here before too long. Oh, Joshua not racing tonight. Unfortunately, he says that he is out of state working. Well, Josh, you do have to do what you gotta do, man. But we look forward to seeing you back next week as we transfer to Texas Motor Speedway, buddy. Take care. Take care. Oh, and Tama in the chat. Tama S rooting for the 86 of Adam Eisenhower with the Eisenhower Racing Team. And here so far, how we are rolling, being led by Travis Pryor, who is warming up those tires to avoid that wheel spin, that very, very deadly wheel spin on the starts and restarts. It does it does cause big junks every now and then when it happens, but these drivers try their best to avoid that whenever they can. And ladies and gentlemen, you have 100 laps coming up here tonight of side-by-side white knuckle racing at Iowa Speedway for the KC Store 150. Make sure you put your seatbelts on, get enough popcorn and refreshments so you guys can be kept entertained all race long. Exiting turn 4, going green this time. Back for the final for the first time. The pace car dips off. Travis Pryor, no hesitation but love determination. The green flag does fly, and a great start by Travis Pryor. 48 of Christopher Smith as well, maintains second place for now as Dakota Craig does back it down there in turn number 1 of exit of 2. Battle behind him, the 80 of Jay Pryor and Brian Wasserman side by side, and we are green for lap 1, the KC Store 150 here, round 5. And as soon as the green flag gets flown, a lot of drivers really battling heavily. This track really resembles Kansas in a way that they do sometimes become, you can pretty much say they're one groove racetracks at times. So far the drivers are trying to take while they can, because later on in the run, 81 Pryor goes sideways off the exit of 4, and the caution flies this time by on lap number 2. Yep, Travis Pryor there, but exit off turn 4, looks like it. Let's back it up on Travis and see what happened.
Well, as we pull up the Dre Broadcasting Instant Replay, focusing on the 81 of Travis Pryor coming into the turn. Oh, he made a little contact with the apron. That's what got him, Sean. That was definitely the apron that got him there. As we take a look here, as he's coming in through the turn. Yep, he just got down just barely on that apron. Car comes around. Good job at locking it down. And everybody's able to get around him, so no damage as he just sits there and waits until everybody gets around for our first caution of the night.
Absolutely, man. Very unfortunate for Travis Pryor. Unfortunate in the sense that he's gonna have to do it all over again. Basically got to the back of the pack and work his way back up to the front of the field. but great job to him and everybody else. Great awareness, as that only was a one-car incident and no harm done to Travis Pryor, despite, you know, the only harm that was done was him losing spots, but nothing else, nothing major. And as we speak here down pit road, we only have Garrett Robinson, Travis Pryor, and Eli Green, but everybody else staying out, and Christopher Smith taking over the race lead here this time back. He took over the race lead there on lap number 3, and we have Christopher Smith, Dakota Craig 2nd, Brian Wasserman 3rd, Jay Pryor 4th, and Caleb Daniels in the 5th place position. And already 48 of Christopher Smith up front, Dave saving gas, he's actually already thinking about his strategy for the long run. And status check on Travis Pryor. Travis Pryor is being shown 26th, right behind 36 of Jason Eisenhower. And we have Brandon Doughton. Brandon Doughton's first race was last week at Charlotte Motor Speedway, but he is back here tonight for Iowa Speedway as the second race of the Pro K&N Series with the Extreme Motorsports 99. And ladies and gentlemen, for all those of you in the chat, on the stream that would like to be a part of the action behind the wheel of one of these machines, be sure to check out the Extreme Motorsports at extrememotorsports99.com. Drop the first E in Extreme and start with the X. So extrememotorsports99.com. Just to give you guys a gist of what they do here at Extreme, they do run a road series and a Pro K&N series on Monday nights. On Tuesday nights, track series, that's the Camping Road track series on Tuesday nights. On Wednesday nights, Xfinity series. And on Thursday nights, they run a Cup series, which is the best of the best with the those Gen 6s out, the Cup cars. So basically, you guys can join either of these based on how much experience you have, because they do place you in different series based on how much experience you have. Well, here up front, the lights and the pace car still turned on. That means one more pace lap, and this is a very, very short track. And in the chat, there we have Chris James in the chat, rooting for the 185 of Brandon Doughton.
Yeah, just our first caution though. These guys are going to get settled down here. Little pre-race jitters, but right now being led by the 48, Christopher Smith, Dakota Craig 2nd, Brian Wasserman sitting in 3rd, Dre Pryor, he is sitting there in 4th, and Caleb Daniels rounding out your top 5.
And speaking of Jay Pryor has had, you know, a couple of rough races here and there. You know, he always seems to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. But tonight, so far, great qualifying time, 5th place, currently 4th place, and is very determined to get up there and lead some laps, take the lead away from the 48 of Christopher Smith, and also Brian Wasserman coming to the front here early on. He did qualify in the 4th place spot, and Brian as well, we had a chance to speak with him. You know, he talked about how he's also had a rough season in the very beginning, but hopefully it does end up picking up, because he was very determined to see the season really change when we spoke to him during one of the interviews after the race. But we are now back 1 to green here, this time by still being led by 48 of Christopher Smith with the help of 77 of Brian Wasserman. On the outside line, 98 of Dakota Craig with the help of the 80 of Jay Pryor, going green this time by for the second time.
Well, as we come out of turn number 4, pace car dips off. Christopher Smith is leading the charge. Here we go. Green flag. Gets a good run. Tell you what, here goes Brian Wasserman. He's going to be on the inside of Dakota Craig. Here is a battle side by side for 2nd. But look here. There's the 80 of Jay Pryor. He's all over the back deck lid of Brian Wasserman. Had to back it down a little bit because it looked like he was going to smash right into the back end of him. But good job by him.
And as we speak, Jay Pryor has been left out high and dry. The outside just might not be the place to be just yet, but he was able... Oh, the caution flies here on lap number 9. We are going to see exactly how it might have been the cause of it.
It looks like that's going to involve the 102 of How Amy. So we are going to pull it back here, take a look at the 102. Ooh, looks like Jay Pryor is also going to be involved in that 102. Of Amy, though, looks like he is running a little bit of a mid lane there. coming out, just lost it in 4. The 97, nowhere to go. Travis Pryor involved in that as well. Oh, that's going to be unfortunate.
Absolutely, indeed. Very unfortunate for all the drivers involved in that. And yeah, pal, Amy's machine just snapped all of a sudden, just got upset on the exit of turn 4. He tried his best to save it, counter-steering it, but it was way too late because all machines were right behind him. And, things do go from bad to good, from good to bad in a hurry at a track this short. Well, going back up front, we are still being led by Christopher Smith, Dakota Craig 2nd, Brian Wasserman 3rd, Jay Pryor 4th, and Caleb Daniels in the 5th place position here. And let's see anybody going down pit road this time by. Yes, Timothy Hamlet, Matt Ridgway, Travis Pryor, Jason Eisenhower, Hal Amy, Rick Mason, and Garrett Robinson all going down pit road. And as usual, 48 of Christopher Smith still saving some gas, clutching that sucker in while he can.
Yeah, he's going to try to get, we still got 90 laps here after completing lap 11 here, so still got a long race. He's just trying to stay out. Track like Iowa, it's all, track position's pretty important, Sean.
Very, very important. At the same time, equally as important as the tire conservation. You know, this track is, it's a short track. At the same time, it's got quite the very sharp turns, and with that said, that means more wheel input, which equals more friction. At the same time, the more the tires wear, and it is 0.88 miles in length. That is 0.88 miles in length. And Dave, so far looking at the drivers, the heaviest movers, we have 2 new drivers in the top 10, namely Adam Eisenhower and Damian Cramp. Adam Eisenhower came from 13th place to 8th, while Damian Crump came from 11th place to 9th place thus far. And some new drivers in the top 20. We have Brandon Doughton from 26th to 17th. Jason Anderson from 28th to 18th here this far. And as the race progresses, we're going to be seeing just a lot more drivers going in and out. And you're focusing on the 13 of Eli Green here. Eli Green with the KRG paint scheme. Orange on the rear, white on the front. That's KRG Utility Contractors, Inc. That's a well-dressed machine. And Eli Green had a very rough start to the season last season. But so far this season seems to be going a little bit better for him. So that is very, very good to see, and he does seem to have more confidence this season than he did last season, and that is exactly what he needs, and he does keep showing every single week with his driving style and just pretty much how much better he's getting with every single week. And here so far, we now have Brandon Slow, 10th place, Wally Tierheimer, 12th, actually 11th, David White, 12th, Chris Voyles 13th, Timothy McBride 14th, and Gary Woolbot in the 15th place spot.
Yeah, some of our big movers, though, you look at Adam Eisenhower, he's currently running in 8th position after starting 13th. And then you got Andrew Riley starting 20th, now running 16th. Jason Anderson, he started 28th, now running 18th. So we got some big movers that are making their way through the field, Sean.
Oh, yes, we do. And here's a status check on the 36 of Jason Eisenhower. Eisenhower, Dave, his machine has seen better days. And Eisenhower is one of the drivers who's had a rough start to the season. Seems as though the C&S Hobbies machine just keeps getting damaged every single week. But it's still good to see Jason very determined to get the job done regardless week after week. And not to worry, ladies and gentlemen, the drivers do have one backup car. That is one backup car. So after the first wreck, you should not count them out just yet, because they will be able to have one more chance at staying competitive with everybody else on the racetrack. Oh, the green flag flies this time for the 8 of Christopher Smith. Puts down the floorboard. He does get a very good restart. Dakota Craig still maintains second place spot. Brian Westman behind him. The caution flies on lap 15. Gonna see exactly what was involved in this one.
Well, that looks like that's going to involve the 13 of Eli Green as we pull up the Dre Broadcasting Network replay. Yes, it is. So, looking here on the restart, 36 of Eisenhower there, but here comes the 13 of Eli Green. He's going to come into the turn real high. Oh, checked up, and the 102 is just going to run right into the back end of him. Let's take a look here if we can get another angle on it. Yeah, it just looked like he had to check up because he was going to hit the wall. The 102, nowhere to go. Bunch of carnage, though, in front of him. So, it looked like he may have been checking it up for a wreck, but unfortunately, a lot of cars involved in that.
Oh man, yep, we had one driver smoking heavily. That is Damian Crump. He is still smoking heavily here as we speak, trying to crow down a pit road. He's smoking at the same time. Oh, he's smoking with the 78 of Jeremy Rigney. Jeremy Rigney was the driver who actually got loose there off turn 2. And that is exactly why the 13 of Eli Green was backing it down. And that did cause a chain reaction, unfortunately. But Jeremy Rigney, Damian Crump crawling down a pit road this time by to get the brand new machines, because at this point they have no choice. And only Andrew Riley, Wally Tierheimer, Hal Amy, Jeremy Rigney, and Damian Crump choosing to go down to pit road, but everybody else is deciding to stay out. We have Timothy McBride here just now rolling off pit road, being shown 1 lap down. First driver 1 lap down in the Napa Auto Parts machine. So he will be trying to get the lucky dog to get his lap back here before too long. If we have another caution once we go back to green flag racing.
Yeah, it looks like these guys having a little hard trouble here getting used to this track. It seems to be a little slick there. Seen a few drivers just lose the back end there coming through the turn, so these drivers are going to have to just kind of hammer down here because otherwise it's going to be an early night for a lot of these drivers.
Absolutely, yeah. This is one of the tougher tracks here. So it does require a lot of patience on the driver's parts, but the drivers always adapt quite well. They should adapt here quite well before too long, because the track, we have to keep in mind that the track does change every single lap, and the machine's handling as well does the exact same thing. It's always changing, so they can never get used to the way it is at a certain point in time. And if we do not go 1 to green this time, by will give us some time to get a race interview in, so fingers crossed. If the last of the pace car do stay on, and this does give us time to get a race interview in. So let's focus on one of the drivers here racing tonight. Let's focus on the 113 of Matt Ridgway. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are being joined up in the Dre Broadcasting booth by the 113 of Matt Ridgway. Get a cup there, Matt?
Yeah, I got you, bud.
How you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm up into 16th after starting 27th. A lot of caution laps. Just trying to stay clean. We got a lot of racing left to do.
Absolutely, man. And yes, you have come a very, very long way, Matt. 27th to 16th, and something tells me you're not done taking positions and taking positions away or breaking hearts at the exact same time. And how's the machine been handling there while you're observing it during practice?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Oh, it's all good. I was just saying, how was the machine handling in practice?
It's real loose out here tonight, real loose. But it's all about patience. They preach that in the pre-race, and it's just being smooth with it, and it'll take care of itself.
Oh, 10-4, buddy. And with that said, man, I mean, with the looseness, what do you think is the best strategy to avoid falling victim of the looseness that's going on?
Definitely patience, just not pushing too hard. We can see a lot of guys are antsy on the restarts, And I'm actually losing a couple positions every restart just because I'm trying to get clean restarts, and it's worked out for me so far.
Oh, 10-4, brother. Well, we are now back 1 to green, going green this time by. So, Matt, stay alive and see you in victory lane, buddy. Make us proud.
Thanks, man.
And the green flag does fly for the 8 of Christopher Smith. Great restart yet again. Dakota Craig still maintaining second for now. Behind him, Brian Wasserman, ATJ Pryor side, but so they must make contact there. Entering turn 1. Oh man, Brian Wasserman will be taken 3 wide by the 10 of Daniels and the 86 of Adam Eisenhower. He goes from 3rd place to about 6th or 7th place here in 1 lap. Looks like some bad netcode occurred between him and the 80 of Jay Pryor, and that did slow him down enough to lose all those spots, unfortunately.
Yeah, it looks like his car's getting a little loose there as he goes up in front of the 7 of Gary Wolbert. Take a look at that. We saw Travis Pryor involved in a previous 2 incidents there, and look at him. He's already moved his way back up into 11th.
If he gets around the 877 of Brian Wasserman, his next victim now is the 185 of Brandon Downton. At the same time, Brandon Downton applying pressure to the 28 of Chris Voiles this time by. But Chris Voiles with the Hardy's machine trying his best to pounce on the 94 of Gerd Helmlinger. So at this point, it is a chain reaction down the line. And with some new viewers in the chat, Connor Cunningham, welcome back, buddy. We hope you're doing good. Leandro Castro as well, back in the chat. Welcome back, Leandro. We are gonna miss you. And also Chris James commenting on the 185. Dalton. Oh, the caution flies. Oh man, we're gonna see exactly who's involved in this one here on lap 24.
Looks like that's going to involve the 31 of Andrew Riley as we pull up the Dre Broadcasting Instant Replay here. Taking a look here at Andrew Riley running right in front of Jason Eisenhower coming into the turn. Oh, contact between Eisenhower and Riley. Riley goes up into the outside wall. Heavy damage. Timothy McBrayer also involved in that. Let's take a ride here on the in-car with the 31 of Andrew Riley. As we are on his in-car coming into the turn, just kind of riding up. He's going to go into the outside wall up on 2 wheels and then basically just get ran right under as he's going to go for a roll.
Oh man, and as a result, he did blow his motor on impact. That's very unfortunate for Andrew Riley and all the drivers involved in that. Wrong place, wrong time, and a lot of car parts there on the track. Unfortunately, a lot of hard work for the crews out there. But going back to the race, a lot of drivers, more than half the field down pit road. We have Adam Eisenhower, David White, Brandon Dalton, Garrett Robinson, Wally Tierheimer, Tommy Amasi, Brandon Slaw, Damian Cramp, Timothy McBrayer, and Hal Amy staying out, but everybody else going down pit road. And Leandro, yeah, man, we look forward to your return once you're done with the night shift there in January, man. Just hang in there, buddy, hang in there. But we already miss you. We do already miss you. And the updated top 5 here this far, Adam Eisenhower. Actually, I'm gonna wait here because it's gonna change in about 5 seconds. Yep, there we go. Adam Eisenhower still leading. David White 2nd. Brandon Doughton 3rd. Garrett Robinson 4th. And Wally Tierheimer in the 5th place position. And this does give us some time to get a race interview in. So let's focus on one of the drivers here. Let's see. Let's focus on the 18 of Rick Mason. It's been a while. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are being joined up in the Dre Broadcasting booth by a solo driver with the Novo Motorsports team. That is the 18 of Rick Mason. Gotta come up there, Rick.
10-4.
Well, but it's been a very, very long time. How have you been?
I've been well, thank you.
Well, here tonight, man, Rick, just keeping a low profile there, starting in the 29th place spot, and I've come a very long way up in 12th place. How's the machine doing so far, man?
Well, apparently it's doing really well on very short runs. I won't know how it's going to do if we can get some green flag racing in, but you know, my objective now is just to keep the car free from any kind of damage. So, but hopefully we'll get there. Hopefully we'll have a great finish.
Oh, absolutely, man. That is all you can hope for. And with your background, man, anything, you know exactly how to get the job done. And how's your season going compared to last season so far?
Well, we've had a few strings of bad luck, you know, been caught up in some things, and we're not where we would like to be, but we hope each week it's going to get progressively better, and it's always a learning experience. You know, we're learning from, you know, a group of great drivers in this league, and you know, I look at it like each time I hit the track, I can only go up.
Oh, most definitely, man. That is a very, very great mindset to have. That does take you a long way each and every time. And is there anything you carried from last season that is working well this season?
You know what? Just listening to the people who are giving the advice, you know, the admins, because when it comes down to it, they know what they're talking about, and all you can do is follow their advice and drive clean and just keep your car in the best condition possible to finish the race.
Oh, copy that, man. Well, Rick, it's good to see you still alive here tonight. It's good to see you back this season doing amazing. And man, you are now back one to green. Do the Nova Motorsports team proud and make us proud.
10-4, thank you very much.
As the pace car comes out of turn 4, pace car is off, being led by the 86 Adam Eisenhower. His green flag is out. Eisenhower off to a great run. Here comes the 59, David White. He also got a good jump. Also, Brandon Dalton, look at him go. He is on the inside there of Garrett Robinson coming through turn number 2 as they are battling out side by side.
Brandon Dalton, the Kobe Eye Paints machine, trying to make its name known in the top 3, and so far he backs it down, accepts 4th place, trying to gather his thoughts back up, because it's very, very loose, like the drivers had talked about here under the interviews. It is a very, very loose track, basically, with the way these machines are handling as we speak. And Garrett Robinson, oh, caution flies on lap 31.
Well, that's going to be the 80 of Jay Pryor involved in this one. So let's take a look here on the Dre Broadcasting Network as we pull up the instant replay here. Looks like he was riding door to door there with the 10 of Caleb Daniels. Looks like he may have got some contact with the apron, shot up the track into the 10, and it is a pow up there on the turn. So let's take another look here. Let's go into the blimp view, look at it from up above. As they come into the turn, he comes down. Yeah, he just maybe just crossed, but it shot him up the track. 7 of Gary Wolbert involved there. A couple other cars. Jay Pryor under heavy damage.
Yeah, that's very, very unfortunate indeed for Jay Pryor and the drivers involved in that. And man, yeah, it seems as though the machines are pushy on the exit of the turns and very, very loose on entry. That is a very, very bad combination. And Jay Pryor blew his motor on impact, so he's got no choice but to get towed down to pit road, and we'll probably lose a lap or two before he gets his brand new machine out. But going back up front here, Adam Eisenhower still leading, Garrett Robinson 2nd, David White 3rd, Brandon Dalton 4th, and Wally Tierheimer 5th. And one driver gets the wave around the pace car, the Lucky Dog, back on the lead lap. That is 25 of Timothy McBrayer. Timothy McBrayer back on the lead lap on lap 33 in the Napa Auto Parts machine. A new viewer in the chat, that's Wise Logistics. Welcome back, Wise Logistics. And rooting for the 185 of Brandon Dalton, doing amazing here tonight. And absolutely, viewers, yeah, you said in the chat there, it is a very, very tough track. It's one of the toughest tracks here on iRacing. But these drivers still doing quite well, adapting the best that they possibly can. And Jeremy Rigney, well, at this point, let's see, we have 21 drivers being shown on the lead lap. Hal Amy, the first driver, 1 lap down. Brandon Slaw, 1 lap down. So the 2 drivers, Hal Amy and Brandon Slaw, will be racing for the Lucky Dog once we go green flag racing. The 80 of Jay Pryor still getting towed down to pit road. Caleb Daniels, 25th, 2 laps down as well, unfortunately. He's getting towed down to pit road too. Andrew Riley back on the track, 3 laps down, unfortunately. Damian Crump on pit road. Oh man, that's unfortunate for Damian Crump, Caleb Daniels, and Jay Pryor. These drivers are all on pit road. That's very unfortunate, but look forward to seeing them back on the track here before too long. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the KC Store 150, round 5 of 15. Part of the ExtremeMotorsports99.com. That's ExtremeMotorsports99.com Pro K&N Series, brought to you by Extreme Motorsports 99. Well, Jay Pryor's machine is back to life. Brand new machine, not a single scratch on that beast. And off pit road, he'll go here before too long. Same as the 10 of Caleb Daniels. Yes, Caleb Daniels letting the leaders by before exiting pit road. And this far, Dave, in the top 5, top 15. Yeah, I'll just go top 15. We have 3 heaviest movers. Garrett Robinson, 25th to 2nd. Brandon Dalton, 26th to 4th. And Rick Mason, 29th to 11th. And man, that is going to keep changing here before the race ends. And the last of the pace car do turn off. We are now back 1 to green. Adam Eisenhower still leading. David White behind him on the inside line. On the outside, we're being led by Garrett Robinson with the help of the 185 of Brandon Doughton, going green this time by. And you see the 185 of Brandon Doughton warming up those tires, trying to generate some heat into him to avoid that major deadly wheel spin on the restarts. And they enter turn 3, going green this time by in that 3rd row. Wally Tierheimer with the 94 of Garrett Helmlinger, 48 of Christopher Smith with the 98 of Dakota Craig. That pace car dips off. Adam Eisenhower still holding pace speed. He does find the gas pedal. The green flag flies. Great restart by Adam Eisenhower, leaving a battle for 2nd place between the 59 of David White and the 97 of Garrett Robinson. But David just might edge him out. Nope, Robinson drives it in very hard, entering turn 1 and off turn 2. He makes the pass successfully. But bad restart by David White. Unfortunately, he goes from 2nd place to about 4th place here in 1 lap. Yes, behind 94 of Garrett Helmlinger. Now 75 Waldhammer trying to get a free launch program away from David White. And David White trying to catch a grip here as we speak in that Top Gun motorcycle training machine on the outside line. Waldhammer still propelling nice and strong.
Yeah, we still got 63 laps to go, so we're getting close to the halfway point though, Sean. These drivers gotta have patience. As 59, David White is around. Caution again. That looks like that's gonna be between the 59 of David White and the 48 of Christopher Smith there. As we pull up the Dre Broadcasting replay here, focusing on the 59 of David White coming out of turn 4. Christopher Smith going up and just right into that rear quarter there. Gets him around, and there's a lot of cars involved there. The 28, looks like the 98 of Dakota Craig also involved in that. Let's take a look here from the blimp. As they're coming around, Christopher Smith goes up into that middle lane and just makes contact with David White. And unfortunately, a lot of cars involved in this.
Oh man, yeah, that was a very big wreck right there most likely the biggest wreck we've seen here this far. Hopefully, the biggest we're gonna see tonight. And that involved a lot of drivers, and David White getting crawling down a pit road this time by with some heavy smoke from the rear end. And he finally makes it to his pit stop, thankfully. But let's see who's the lucky dog. Hal Amy in line for the lucky dog. Fingers crossed for Hal Amy that he gets a lucky dog this time by. Yep, Hal Amy wave around the pace car back on the lead lap on lap number 41. Congrats to the 102 of Hal Amy on being back on the lead lap. And a lot of drivers staying out, but Garrett Robinson, Christopher Smith, Timothy McBrayer, Jeremy Rigney, Tommy Massey, David White, Dakota Craig, Chris Voiles all went down to pit road to get some service on those machines. Oh man, the top two drivers have stayed out the longest this far. They have not pitted in at all tonight, namely Adam Eisenhower and Brandon Doughton. They do have 41 laps on their tires and tanks. And then next from them is the 97, actually that's 75, Wally Tierheimer, who has 23 laps on his tires. So it's been a while since Adam Eisenhower and Brandon Doughton pitted in, but it's not affecting them at all, because unfortunately they've had a lot of caution laps on those tires. Well, here Eli Green going down pit road, the halfway mark here in the next 9 laps. And once the halfway mark is crossed, things will change. It will be go time. And unfortunately, we have lost 2 drivers, 28 of Chris Voiles and the 44 of Damian Crump. That's very unfortunate for the two drivers. Look forward to seeing them back next week at Texas Motor Speedway. Actually, we lost the 24, Brandon Slaw as well. That's very unfortunate for Brandon Slaw. Once again, we look forward to seeing these drivers back next week at Texas Motor Speedway. And the lights in the pace car are still turned on, so this does give us time to get a race interview in. So let's focus on the drivers here in the top 20. Let's actually focus on the trying to decide here. Let's focus on the 13 of Eli Green. Oh, unfortunately, we won't have enough time to get a race interview in with Eli Green, but we'll try again before the race is over. Well, we are back 1 to green this time by, ladies and gentlemen, still being led by Adam Eisenhower with the help of Garrett Helmlinger. On the outside, being led by the 185 of Doughton Brandon with the help of 75 of Wally Tierheimer. With the car's junior machine, he has lost his partner, unfortunately, the 28 of Chris Voiles with that Hardy's machine, but he is running solo tonight. Well, Wally Tierheimer from now on, but he is still determined to bring this thing home after having a 4th place finish last week at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And the pace car dips off this time by, and Adam controls the pace. He puts on the floorboard. Great restart yet again by Eisenhower. 2nd place driver Doughton Brandon Doughton sees it coming in time to maintain 2nd place against 94 of Garrett Helmlinger, who is being challenged by the 75 of Tierheimer side by side off turn 2.
Yeah, look who's there in the mix. There's the 81 Travis Pryor. He is back up here. He is back hungry. He is ready to go at it as he is trying to figure out how to get around the 94 of Garrett Helmlinger.
Speaking of Travis Pryor, that machine has seen better days. The left front is beat up. Holy cow. But the good thing is this track, it's not affecting him at all. If any, the only thing would be affecting would be the rotation of the machine. But as we speak, he is still battling. So I guess I do stand corrected. He gets around 94 of Helmling, and his next victim now is 75 of Tierheimer.
Yep, he has moved up into that third spot as he gets around the 75 of Tierheimer. He is now going after the 185 of Brandon Dalton. So, well, ladies and gentlemen, as we approach the halfway point, this is a good time to take our first commercial break. We'll be right back here on the Dre Broadcasting Network as we are going to finish bringing you the Casey Store 150 with the Extreme Motorsports 99.com K&N Pro Series.
Don't let your first date be your last. Visit People Against Distracted Driving at PADD.org.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Casey Store 150, Round 5 of the Extreme Motorsports 99.com Pro K&N Series, brought to you by Extreme Motorsports 99.com. For all those interested in being a part of the Extreme Motorsports 99.com, don't hesitate to check out their website, extrememotorsports99.com. Drop the first E in Extreme and start with the X, Extreme Motorsports K&N.com. On Monday nights, they run a Pro K&N Series and a Road Series. Tuesday nights, Camping World Truck Series. Wednesday nights, Xfinity Series. And on Thursday nights, a Cup Series or Gen 6 Series, if you will. Well, for all those interested, once again, check out their website, extrememotorsports99.com. For all the new viewers in the chat, welcome to the Dre Broadcasting Network. For the existing and returning viewers, welcome back to the Dre Broadcasting Network. We are glad to have you all. Well, going back to the race here, we are under caution, being led by Garrett Robinson, Hal Amy second, and Hal Amy was the driver who got the wave around the pace car, the Lucky Dog last caution, so he is now in second place. Timothy McBrayer third, Garrett Helmlinger fourth, Adam Eisenhower fifth, and that does round up that top five. And we have crossed the halfway mark here, 44 laps remaining, about 42 laps left. Once the green flag flies, and this would be a good time for us to continue our interview, the interview we did not get a chance to get with the 13 of Eli Green. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are being joined up in the Dre Broadcasting booth by the 13 of Eli Green. Get a cup there, buddy.
Yeah, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good, how are you? Oh, yeah, I just said that. Yep, good.
You're good. Well, Eli tonight staying alive with a little bit of a dent in the rear end with the KRG machine. But how's the race going?
It's been decent, just sitting in the back so I don't get wrecked. I mean, I think I got a decent car. I've been just kind of hanging back here, you know. There's been a lot of cautions, and it's disappointing to see, but hopefully that'll clean up now, and we get some more green flag racing.
Oh, absolutely, Eli. That's a very, very smart strategy on your part, trying to stay alive, and so far it is paying off. And yeah, this is one of the tougher tracks. We talked to a couple of drivers. They talked about how loose the machines are. And I've noticed a lot. Turn 4 is really getting a lot of drivers. How's the machine handling besides that?
Well, I actually wrecked on the very first lap. I was coming around. I got on the gas after letting everybody by so I could sit in the back. I spun around in turn 3 and 4, but got back going, and then that caution came out. But it is loose there if you're wild and you're trying to push, but if you're just kind of easing it through, it'll go, and it's not gonna spin out on you. So I'm just gonna try to be careful, and hopefully that won't happen.
Oh, 10-4, Eli. Well, man, you're speaking like a very, very experienced driver, which you are. And with that said, man, what are your expectations? Basically, what are your plans from now on until the end? Is it basically go time for you? Because we now have 42 laps left.
Oh, I might wait a little bit longer to see what happens, and yeah, I got you, Dave. And yeah, you know, I'll just wait what happens, and we can figure that out how it's going. There's a lot of talking going on. Sorry, guys.
Oh, it's all good. Well, Eli, you are now back. One to green, stay alive, and see you in victory lane, man.
All right, thank you. Hope to see you later too.
As the pace car dips off, we are going back green flag racing, being led by the 97 of Garrett Robinson. A checkup up front with the 25 of Timothy McBrayer. He is going to lose a lot of speed over that checkup there, as he is now dropped back into third position there. The 1 and 2 of Hal Amy is sitting in second.
Yep, and 94 of Garrett Helmlinger. Oh, man, crossover by the 86 of Eisenhower against the 25 of McBrayer. McBrayer stays high to let the faster traffic by. Well, at this point, just letting him by to try and, you know, bounce back at him at a later stage in the race. And McBrayer right now is mastering extreme patience as we speak, as he just watches battles in front of him. Speaking of battles, we do have 81 of Pride getting around the 102 of Hal Amy, and Hal Amy stays high to let the 94 of Helmlinger by. And Hal Amy did sustain some right front damage on the machine, and it seems to be affecting the rotation of it. Basically, the machine is not wanting to rotate, which means less speed in the turns to be able to rotate the machine. That is a very big disadvantage, especially at a track like this, Iowa Speedway. And for the back here in this pack, 36 of Jason Eisenhower moving up to 10th place and is being challenged by the 49 of Timothy Hamlet. Timothy Hamlet 10, Caleb Daniels, Brian Wasserman 185 of Dalton Brandon, including the 113 of Matt Ridgway, 13 of Eli Green involved in a cluster of their own here as we speak. And the 185 of Brandon does pounce on the 36 of Eisenhower. 185 Dalton, great exit off turn 2, clears the 36 of Eisenhower successfully. His next victim now is 25 of Timothy McBrayer. And Dave, we can see right now backing up to the 13 of Eli Green. Eli Green is trying to make some moves, but he found himself boxed in and had to just back it down and create a gap in between him and the 10 of Daniels. And as we speak now, he's charging on the back bumper of Daniels, slowly but surely. Oh man, Eli Green goes sideways, bad bump on the rear end, the caution flies. Oh, he spins out, overcorrects it. Oh man, nice save by Eli Green, and nobody else involved.
Well, as we pull up the Dre broadcast and replay here on lap here, focusing on the 13 of Eli Green.
Oh, actually, Dave, looks like it involved the 36 of Jason and the 77 of Wasserman. Yeah, they're off turn 4 to bring out the caution. It was contact between 36 of Jason Eisenhower and Brian Westman. And looks like Eli Green did spin out after the incident of Jason Eisenhower and including the 77 of Wasserman off turn 4 that brought out the caution. That's very unfortunate for all the drivers involved in that. But here up front, a driver gets the waiver on the pace car. Yes, the 7 of Gary Woolbot getting the wave around the pace car this time by back from 2 laps down to 1 lap down here on lap number 67. And we have Kathy Little in the chat. Am I pronouncing that right? Kathy, please correct me if I'm wrong. Is that how you pronounce your last name, Little? But she is rooting for the 25 of Timothy McBrayer. Also, welcome, Kathy. Welcome. I apologize. And Tommy Amasi, Jeremy Rigney, Jay Pryor, and David White going down pit road, but everybody else deciding to stay out. And 80 of Jay Pryor spent a lot of time on pit road, but is now rolling off as we speak, being shown 3 laps down. And going through this field here, the heaviest movers we have Timothy Hamlet. Timothy Hamlet's first appearance here in the top 10, same as 36 of Jason Eisenhower and the 113 of Matt Ridgway. Ridgway has come from 27th to 10th. Jason Anderson, 28th to 11th. Garrett Robinson, 25th to 12th. Tommy Amasi from 20... Oh, actually, that's Rick Mason. Yeah, Rick Mason from 29th to 13th. And Tommy Amasi from 18th place to 14th. We also have Hal Amy. Hal Amy was a driver who was a lap down at one point, got his lap back the hard way, and is now back on the lead lap. He was up front here not too long ago, but is now back here in the 15th place spot, and just trying to take it easy. And we now have 32 laps remaining, so at this point, it most likely is go time for some drivers. We had spoken to the 13 of Eli Green about his strategy from now on. He talked about how he was going to wait a little bit longer before it was going to be go time for him. So here, before too long, we're going to be seeing Eli Green trying to charge throughout the field. And we are now back 1 to green, this time by being led by Adam Eisenhower with the help of Garrett Helmlinger. Travis Pryor leading the outside with the help of the 75 of Wally Tierheimer. Wally Tierheimer here back in the top 5. And Travis Pryor, man, that machine has been, it's not at its prettiest here this far. It's been running this way. Well, he's been running with that amount of damage for the last 20, 30 laps or so. But he's still been able to stay competitive and take away spots as much as he possibly could. And now his next victim is the 86 of Adam Eisenhower for that race lead as we go green, this time by.
Yeah, as we come into turn number 3, turn number 4, getting ready to go. Green flag racing. Adam Eisenhower on the inside. Travis Pryor on the outside. Pace car is off. We are going back. Green flag racing here at Iowa.
Yeah, that green flag flies. Adam Eisenhower again gets a very good restart. 81. Pryor sees it coming in time to maintain second place. Oh man, Garrett Helmlinger's machine goes sideways, entering turn number 1. But nice save by Garrett. But because of it, he will go from about 3rd place to 5th place here in 1 lap. But he's gonna have a chance to fall back in line behind the 48 of Christopher Smith to avoid losing more spots, time, and I already said spots. But it's here as we driving the wall. Timothy McBrayer stacks up the field behind him, but no harm done. We are still green. Yep, that could have been ugly, but a nice save by the drivers. Those contacts between the 185 of Dalton, Brandon Dalton, and Timothy McBrayer. That caused the big checkup, unfortunately, there. But both drivers get out of that unscratched. Well, they sustain some damage, but it's still green flag racing. The caution now flies, this time by.
Well, that's going to involve the 36 of Jason Eisenhower as we pull up the Dre Broadcasting instant replay here, taking a look at the 36 there of Eisenhower's. He was almost 3 wide with the 98 of Dakota Craig, kind of running that middle line. Oh, contact between Eisenhower and Craig, and he goes around, stops on the track. That is going to bring out the caution.
Oh man, absolutely very unfortunate for both drivers involved in that. And hopefully Jason Eisenhower still has one of his backup cars. Actually, that machine is not too bad. He should be able to still stay competitive despite the few dents here and there in that C&S Hobbies machine. But going back up front, Adam Eisenhower still leading. Travis Pryor 2nd, Wally Tierheimer 3rd, Christopher Smith 4th, and Garrett Helmlinger in the 5th place position. And this does give us some time to get a race interview in. So let's focus on the 75 of Wally Tierheimer. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are being joined up in the Dre Broadcasting booth by a Bandit Motorsports driver, 75 of Wally Tierheimer. Get a cup there, Wally.
I do, Sean. How are you today?
Good, how are you?
Very good, thank you.
Well, Wally, you keep getting nothing but faster week after week. And tonight he did start in the 10th place spot and have been up front. Actually, past the halfway mark, you've seen you pretty much up front. You were in the top 5 and now in the podium in 3rd place behind Travis Pryor. But how's the machine treating you so far?
Well, I got in a little trouble there about, I don't know, lap 26. I got caught up and someone spun in front of me, and I just got some optional repair done. Since I come out, I've just been slowly making my way up further. The outside seems to be working really well for me. People try to take a good line on the inside, and it just doesn't seem to be working for them. And I'm on the outside, got a good momentum on the outside, and it seems to be working pretty good.
Oh, copy that. Very glad to hear about that. And Wally, we've heard from a lot of drivers about how loose the conditions are tonight. How are you handling that?
Well, you just can't get into it really quick on the exit of the turns. That's the problem. I mean, it's loose if you get into it. You got to, how they say on TV, you got to treat like an egg is under your throttle. You got to be real gentle with it on exit. And if you're up higher, you don't have to be as gentle, so you can stay in it a little bit more. When you're down low, if you want to keep that guy on the outside at bay, and you give it a little bit too much, you're going around.
Absolutely, nicely said. You do have to be very careful with the accelerator, as pretty as it would be, as pretty as it is, to always put it down to the floorboard. And man, here we have, let's see, less than 30 laps, 25 laps remaining here in tonight's race. So at this point, would you say it's go time for you?
Oh, it's go time. I mean, you know, I didn't want to ever say it's really go time because you just want to keep it clean. And you got to keep it clean to the end. And, you know, so try to be, I'm just trying to keep it cool the whole time and let the chips fall where they may. So I'm not really going to be forcing anything. I'm just going to try to keep driving my race.
Oh, very, very nicely said, man. Trying to stay alive here to finish the race. And man, you're rocking an amazing paint scheme. You rock an amazing paint scheme week after week with a teammate, the 28 of Chris Voiles. Pretty much similar paint schemes. Tell us about your paint scheme if you don't mind.
Well, I work for Carl's Jr., which is the sister company of Hardee's. So me and Chris from Bandit Motorsports, Chris painted these up, and I got the Carl's car, and he got the Hardee's car, and we're just moving down the road. Unfortunately, Chris had some bad luck today, and he's out of the race. He got in an accident, motor blew, had some towing, and he was done for the night. So we'll wish him better luck next time, but I have to thank him for the paint.
Oh, copy that, man. Yeah, that's very, very well dressed. So much time was put into it, and effort too. And that is a very, very shiny machine, and you do make it look pretty every time you're in the top 3 up here in the podium every single race. Well, Wally, you are now back 1 to green, going green this time by. So look forward to seeing you in victory lane for your first win of the season.
All right, Sean, thank you.
And that was the 75 of Wally Tierheimer with the Bandit Motorsports team. And we are now back 1 to green this time by being led by the 86 of Adam Eisenhower with the help of Wally Tierheimer. On the outside, Travis Pryor with the help of the 48 of Christopher Smith going green this time by. And once the green flag flies, we'll be having 22 laps remaining. The pace car tips off and Adam wastes no time whatsoever, but Travis Price is coming in time to maintain the second place spot. And now a battle for third place between Wally Tierheimer and the 48 of Christopher Smith. And Dave, last week at Charlotte, we talked about how the outside line was not the place to be on a start or restart. But here at Iowa, it's the opposite. On a restart or start, the outside is the place to be and the inside is not the place to be.
Yeah, meanwhile up front though, the 81 of Travis Pryor, he is trying everything to get around the 86 of Adam Eisenhower. Eisenhower leading 44 laps here tonight. So he has been pretty much the dominant car here tonight. Christopher Smith leading 23 laps, Garrett Robinson leading 11. Travis Pryor leading 1 lap, even though as he was the pole setter for the race.
On the caution flies here with 81 laps in the 20 laps remaining. We are going to back it up and see who might have been involved.
That's going to be the 7 of Gary Wolbert as he was going down through the grass here. So we're going to take a look here at the replay. Looks like he was run with 3 wide and just tried to keep it down. Oh, the 102 and the 10 get together, and the 107 unlucky participant there. So let's take it back here and look at the 102. As him and the 10 came together, and that caused the 10 to go down into the 7.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, with 19 laps remaining and 82 laps completed, we're going to take our final commercial break of the evening this time by. So you guys can get your second round of popcorn and refreshments, and so we can thank our sponsors. We'll be right back, so please stay tuned. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the KC Store 150, Round 5 of the ExtremeMotorsports99.com Pro K&N Series, brought to you by ExtremeMotorsports99.com. Well, going back to the race here, we are back 1 to green, being led by Adam Eisenhower, who this time decides to start on the outside line with the help of 48 of Christopher Smith. On the inside, Travis Pryor with 97 Robinson on his rear end, going green this time by. With 14 laps remaining, the pace car dips off. Adam holding pace speed. Oh, big check on the outside line, big heavy contact, but Adam sees it, gets a very good restart again, but that will check up the back of the pack on the outside, but the green flag is still out. 48 of Christopher Smith, 97 Robinson, he is single foul as we speak, and Travis Pryor up front battling side by side with 86 of Adam Eisenhower for the race lead.
Yeah, he's going to get on that inside. Oh, pushed up a little bit. He's going to have to... Is he going to clear him? Oh, he pinched his nose, but that's going to open the door for the 48 of Christopher Smith and Garrett Robinson to get around him. But here comes Pryor back on the outside.
Oh, and the caution flies here on lap number 88 with 13 laps remaining. We are going to back it up and see who might have been involved.
Well, that is going to involve the 25 of Timothy McBrayer. As we pull up the Dre Broadcasting instant replay here, as we see the 25 of Timothy McBrayer, he has got the 80 of Jay Pryor right behind him as they are coming through the turn here. The 8 looks like they were checking up. It was happening in front of them, but it looks like it's going to be the 185 of Brandon Dalton. Let's see if we can see what happened. 185, Brandon Dalton going up against the 102. Contact made, the 185 goes around, the 102 goes around, and a few cars involved there, including Timothy McBrayer and Jay Pryor.
Yeah, a very, very rough night indeed for the drivers involved in that, especially Jay Pryor. Jay Pryor seems to be at the wrong place at the wrong time each and every time, but this time was able to keep the machine up and running still, so he should be able to still be competitive despite the damage on the machine. And Jason Eisenhower is the first driver 1 lap down, so he should be getting the wave around the pace car this time by. Does not look like it. Maybe it's going to be next time around. But here, the new top 5. Christopher Smith leading. Garrett Robinson second. Travis Pryor third. Adam Eisenhower fourth. And Wally Tiaheimer in the 5th place spot, rounding up the top 5. And yes, Jason Eisenhower getting the wave around the pace car, brand new machine. Looks like he had his backup car just sitting back there waiting for him. And he finally uses it here with 10 laps remaining here in tonight's race. And back on the lead lap on lap number 90. Looking through this field here, Garrett Robinson is back in the podium, back here in the in 2nd place. We have Eli Green is currently 7th from 19th place. He talked about how he was just going to pretty much take it easy there with about 30 laps remaining. That's 30 laps remaining. But now he is up front in the 7th place spot. So something tells me it is go time for everybody. It's going to be go time, well, once that green flag flies with less than 10 laps to go. We have Matt Ridgway from 27th to 8th as we speak. Timothy Hamlet 21st to 9th. We have Jason Anderson from 28th to 12th. Hal Amy from 30th to 13th, Rick Mason 29th to 15th, and Brandon Dalton the 26th to the 16th place spot. And this does give us time to get a race interview in. So let's focus on the driver here, the 49 of Timothy Hamlet. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are being joined up in the Dre Broadcasting booth by the 49 of Timothy Hamlet with the H&H Motorsports team. Good to go up there, Timothy.
How you doing there, Sean?
Good, how are you?
I am doing pretty good. Been clean all day. I'm hoping to keep it that way.
Oh, copy that. Yep, keeping that car very, very pretty. It looks extra beautiful under these lights. But how's been the race, man?
Well, I'm sure everybody can see it's been a little difficult, but you know, just trying our best to keep it clean and stay out of the way of all the mess in front of us.
10-4, and how has it been? Basically, a lot of drivers seem to be, unfortunately, being at the wrong place at the wrong time, but in your case, on a single scratch on this beast. So what strategy paid off or worked this well?
Just really keeping an eye on what's going on in front of me and who's around me and how hard they're going in. And just trying to keep myself in the right place at the right time.
Oh, most definitely, man. And here you are, back one to green with only a few laps left, less than 10 laps remaining. With that said, man, where do you see yourself on lap 100?
Hopefully a little further up.
Okay, copy that, man. Look forward to seeing you 8 spots higher, man. Make us proud, Tim. Make us proud.
Thanks, Sean. Thank you, everybody, for sticking with us and watching tonight.
And that was 49 of Timothy Hamlet with the H&H Motorsports team. Did not realize the caution was going to go that quick. But here we are going one to green with 7 laps to go. A 7-lap shootout once the green flag flies. That pace car dips off. Christopher Smith puts on the floorboard. He does catch everybody off guard. Oh man, it's a restart all over 97 Robinson. Robinson was caught sleeping here on this restart. But Travis Pryor did rescue him. And here 86 of Adam Eisen on the outside line. Travis from the inside. And Adam does go from 3rd place to 4th place here in 1 lap and trying to bounce back against the 81 of Travis Pryor. It is go time, ladies and gentlemen. Here in the next 2 laps, the caution flies. I should say the next flag will end the race. Oh, no. We're going to have a 1-lap shootout. Luckily enough, the caution flies this time by. We are going to back it up and see what might be involved.
Well, this looks like it's going to involve the 05 of Tommy Amasi, our current points leader. As we're going to take a look here as he is running. Look at a pretty high mid line there as he's battling the 185. Contact between him and the 185. The 05 goes around, gets hit, but looks like everybody else is able to get around him.
Absolutely, man. That's very unfortunate for the drivers involved in that incident. They had a late caution here late in the race, because if they go at the back of the pack, once they go to pit road to get some service, when they come back out on the track, they will be in the back of the pack with only a 1-lap shootout that we are expecting. So it's going to make things extra interesting, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't yet already put your seatbelts on, and yes, I said seatbelts, not seatbelt, but seatbelts. At least 3 to 4 seatbelts, just to be safe. And Christopher Smith here still leading. Garrett Robinson 2nd. Travis Pryor 3rd. Adam Eisenhower 4th. And Brian Wasserman in the 5th place position. Yep, a 1 to 2 lap shootout coming up here shortly. So stay tuned. And ladies and gentlemen, for all of you who would like to be a part of the action here with the ExtremeMotorsports99.com, for other new viewers, please check out Extreme Motorsports 99 at ExtremeMotorsports99.com to be a part of the action. Monday nights, Road Series and a K&N Series. Tuesday nights, they run a track series. On Wednesday nights they run a Xfinity series, and Thursday nights a Cup series, which is the Gen 6 cars. And on Monday and Tuesday nights, so Xfinity series, track series and Pro K&N series is broadcast live by the Dre Broadcasting Network, while Wednesdays and Thursday nights, that is Xfinity series and Cup series, is broadcast live on the Online Sim Racing Network. That is Online Sim Racing Network, that is OSR Network, with Joe White and David Everly on Wednesday nights, then Joe White on Thursday nights as well. They're on the Online Sim Racing Network right here on YouTube. So be sure to check out Joe White on the Online Sim Racing Network as well, and give him some support as well.
Well, Sean, we're going to wait and see here if we're going to be going green flag racing, because In order to go green flag racing, the lights on the pace car have to go off this time.
Oh, yep. Fingers crossed, ladies and gentlemen. If the pace lights turn off, we're gonna have a one-lap shootout as expected. So fingers crossed. Oh no, Dave. The lights in the pace car do stay on, and that means the race will end under caution. Christopher Smith will bring this thing home. Garrett Robinson second, Travis Pryor third, Adam Eisenhower fourth, and Brian Wasserman in the fifth place spot. We have Wally Tierheimer sixth, Eli Green seventh, Matt Ridgway eighth, Timothy Hamlet ninth, and Jeremy Rigney in the 10th place position. And these results are unofficial, so with that said, things can change, but we'll update them again once we cross the start finish line for the checkered flag. And new viewer in the chat, Andy Ridgway. I believe I can guess he has a relation with the 113 of Matt Ridgway. Welcome to the Dre Broadcasting Network there, Andy Ridgway. He says AR-15 racing with 2 top 15s. Absolutely, man. Congratulations. And ladies and gentlemen, the drivers will be going to a whole different track, Texas Motor Speedway. That's going to be next week. That's going to bring a lot of competition out of these drivers. A lot of beasts were not able to be unleashed here tonight. And with that said, these drivers are hungry for some more side-by-side, double wide, and 3 wide next week at Texas Motor Speedway. That's round 6, the Rocket Chassis 200. So be sure to be there, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be an amazing race, a heck of a race, because it is an amazing track as well. Exiting turn 4 this time by Christopher Smith brings this thing home unchallenged at pace speed 50 miles an hour. First win of the season for Christopher Smith right here at Iowa Speedway. The official results here, top 10 drivers. Christopher Smith brings it home. Garrett Robinson second, Travis Pryor third, Adam Eisenhower fourth, Brian Wasserman fifth, Wally Tierheimer sixth, Eli Green seventh, Matt Ridgway eighth, Timothy Hamlet ninth, and Jeremy Rigney in the 10th place position. And this will be interviewing top 3 drivers interviews. 48, Christopher Smith, Garrett Robinson, Travis Pryor, and a special guest, so please stay tuned. And enjoy the smoke show by the 48 of Christopher Smith. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are being joined up in the Dre Broadcasting booth by the top 3 drivers and a special guest. That's going to be Christopher Smith, Garrett Robinson, Travis Pryor, including our special guest, the 127 of Jason Anderson. But we are going to start with tonight's race winner, 48 of Christopher Smith. Gonna go up there, Chris?
Yes, sir, I do.
How you doing tonight?
Oh man, I'm great. Couldn't be better. Man, that was awesome.
Oh man, yeah, congrats on your success and a well-fought race on your parts tonight. You did qualify in second place spot and brought this thing home. Well, give us a rundown of the action here tonight.
Oh man, action was second to none. This place is. Last season I enjoyed running this place, and I knew if I could keep it clean and stay patient and keep everything intact there, that we would have a good night. And didn't expect it to be this good, but I take it. I love it. Had an awesome time.
Oh man, very, very glad to hear that, and very, very happy for you at the same time. And Chris, we know you haven't had the best start to the season, but tonight seems like it might just be a turning point, and that is excellent. That is exactly what we like to see from you as a driver. And how have you changed? Basically, what have you changed so far this season to better your chances from last season?
Man, just the patience. Learning, figuring this car out, figuring, how it's going to handle in traffic, long runs, short run speed, the pit stops. It's been a little bit of everything I've tried to work on. Since last season, I felt like, we were kind of clicking on all cylinders at the end of last season. Started off this season with some good speed, just didn't quite have the look. I told you last week when we come out second last week that was a turning point, and I think that's going to be the turning point of our season. With a victory here tonight, that's icing on the cake.
Oh, absolutely, man. And we are glad that those things you talked about, the things you've been working on, the things you've changed from last season to this season, are the most crucial things to be successful. And yep, last week being your turning point, that is very good to see, because tonight you went one spot higher and had your first win, having your first win right here at Iowa Speedway. And Chris, I know you're not able to unleash all your beasts here tonight in terms of competition, but next week we are going to Texas Motor Speedway. So with that said, man, what are you expecting from Texas, from you?
I expect to be fast. I really like the 1.5 miles. Seem to have a lot of speed on them. We showed that at Charlotte last week. So, I mean, I'm expecting to have a good car. If I can just keep it clean, I'm planning on putting this 48 back up front.
Oh, copy that, brother. Well, Christopher, any final words before we let you go celebrate?
Yeah, I just want to thank all the people at Extreme Motorsports 99 that make all this happen. Vernon, them guys, they're great. Couldn't say enough about them. They keep this a level playing field and fair. Them boys take their time to watch us and call these races. And I want to thank y'all, the broadcasters. Y'all do a great job in the booth. Y'all as well y'all take y'all's time to call these races for us. So I mean, it really takes everybody here. And want to thank Bog for putting these on. Couldn't do it without all y'all, so I want to thank all y'all for that.
Well, Christopher, congratulations on your success here tonight. We look forward to seeing the momentum carry over to next week. And now go celebrate, buddy. You earned it.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Y'all have a good night.
And that was the 48 of Christopher Smith. But next in line is 97 of Garrett Robinson. Get a cup there, Garrett.
Yeah, Sean. I got you.
How you doing tonight?
Oh, same as always. Another second place, I guess.
Oh man, yeah, better than third still, but I know you're still very, very anxious, or you're really wanting to get that, get one spot higher and have your first win. And Garrett, this is only your second race here in the Pro K&N Series, and doing amazing. You started 25th and finished in second place spot, gaining 23 spots overall. But how was your race tonight?
It was pretty good. I was just trying to be patient and get to the front, and later we didn't ever really get a long run because all the cautions, the car would get a little tight. I think the only reason I took the lead that one time is because I was on the fresh tires, but Adam and Travis, they really had the car beat tonight.
Oh, 10-4. And Garrett, speaking of that, what do you think was the best strategy here for tonight's race, or tonight's track?
Just to keep your car clean. I mean, there was a lot of cautions, a lot of wrecks, a lot of pile-ups.
Oh, absolutely, man. Well, we are glad that you were able to survive here tonight. And man, going to next week's track, Texas Motor Speedway, what kind of things do you have to do to your car, you think, to get it ready for Texas?
You just gotta know the lines to run, I guess.
Very nicely said, man. Well, Garrett, congrats on your success here for your second race of the season here in the Pro K&N Series. And before I let you go, man, any final words?
I just want to thank everybody at Extreme. I want to thank y'all for broadcasting, and everybody that watches the streams. Appreciate everything.
Congrats on your success there, Garrett, and see you again next week.
All right, thanks.
And that was Garrett Robinson, but next in line is the 81 of Travis Pryor, two-time winner, and his last win was last week at Charlotte Motor Speedway. You got to go up there, Travis?
Yes, I do. How y'all doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm pretty happy. I'd like to be a little bit better, but I'm not. I'm gonna take this third place and lay down good tonight in bed.
Well, Travis, podium after podium after podium. That is a success in my book any day, every single day. And man, you ran with some ugly, heavy damage on your machine pretty much half the race. How did that affect your machine?
I couldn't really tell if it affected me on the longer runs. It still felt fine to me. It felt like it did with the fresh car. With the short laps we ran, really didn't affect too bad. But I think in a longer run, it probably could have affected somewhat. But it wasn't too bad. It wasn't. The only thing that hurt me the most is that I got this pretty car damaged that much. That's the only thing that really affected me the most.
Oh man, most definitely. Well, we are glad that you did not affect your performance here. We saw you battling pretty much every single position despite the damage you sustained. I thought it was going to affect your rotation, if anything, or the rotation of the machine, but it did not seem to affect that. And a very, very nice paint scheme on your car. And speaking of the paint scheme, I want to talk to us a little bit about the paint scheme.
Yeah, this paint scheme, one of our local drivers at our local track came out with this scheme this race season dedicated to one of their family members with autism, and my little brother, he's also autistic. So this paint scheme means a lot to me and my family. It definitely represents our family the most. I want to thank the Romans for coming out with this paint scheme. It means a lot, and I'm happy to race it on here.
It's a very, very good looking paint scheme indeed for a great cause, and we are very, very commendable. It's nice to see you running it. And we have a new viewer in the chat for you this week there, Travis, Joanne Pryor, on top of Pat T. So Pat T and Joanne Pryor, we're rooting for you here all race long tonight. Any words for them?
Yeah, I was hoping, it's one of the first races my mom's watched this year. I would have liked to get in victory lane for her to watch. But hopefully she enjoyed watching it, and maybe she'll get as caught up into it as Pat T's gotten. But I just love the support of all of my family members and friends, and anyone else that takes their time to watch me do this.
Oh, most definitely. And you heard that, Joanne Pryor and Pat T. Thank you for everything you do and supporting Travis Pryor here as he's becoming more and more successful week after week with your motivation. Well, Travis, man, any final words before you go?
Yeah, I want to thank Extreme Motorsports putting on this great race. I want to congratulate the 48. It was a good win on his part. I just want to thank everyone for watching. Thank for the Romans for inspiring me for this paint scheme, and I want to just give a shout out to them.
Congrats on your success again there, Trav, and see you again next week at Texas Motor Speedway. Have a good night.
You too, thank you.
And that was Travis Pryor, but next in line is our special guest, the 127 of Jason Anderson. Get a cup there, Jason.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Good, how are you?
Oh, doing great tonight.
Well, it was a heck of a race on your part there, Jason. You did start in the 28th place spot and finish in the 11th place position. So what would you say was the biggest factor, or what contributed to your success the most tonight?
Oh, well, I mean, this track is slicker than bananas coming out of 4, you know. It's just a tough track all around. So the practice that me and the rest of the team kind of put into going into this is really what kind of carried over into tonight.
Oh, 10-4, yep, a lot of preparation, a lot of practice needed to be successful, and it did show in your driving style and strategy all race long tonight, and that was amazing to see. And how were you able to counter the looseness of the machine, man?
Just trying out different lines. During the practices, I'd try different lines. We'd try different entry and exit points, different throttle inputs, and it just really all kind of came together tonight.
Oh, copy that, man. Very, very glad to hear that. And yep, that practice definitely paid off by the sounds of it. And Jason, this is your third race here in the Pro K&N Series. And with that said, man, next week we'll be going to Texas Motor Speedway, a track where you can basically, a track that's more forgiving than Iowa Speedway. With that said, man, what are your expectations for Texas from yourself?
You know, our hopes are high. Hopefully we can take this momentum and just keep kind of moving it forward. I think we've learned a lot of lessons in the last 3 races, of course, so we're just going to build off of that and hopefully keep all the AR-15 cars in the top 10 from here on out.
Oh, 10-4, man. Sounds like an amazing goal indeed. And congratulations on your success once again there, Jason. And before I let you go, celebrate. Any final words?
You know, all the help we get from King's Coffee and Power Toothpaste, you know, check them out online. They help out our team a lot, and thanks to Extreme for letting us come out and race with you guys. It's been great.
Congrats on your success there again, Jason, and we look forward to seeing you 10 spots higher next week at Texas. Have a good night and go celebrate.
Thank you, man.
And that was the 127 of Jason Anderson, and that rounds up the interviews. Jason Anderson, Travis Pryor, Garrett Robinson, and Christopher Smith. Well, that was a heck of a race, man. This was a very, very tough track, ladies and gentlemen. It is a very, very tough track, I should say. Well, not was, but is a very, very tough track. And these guys did an amazing job adapting to it as the racing conditions were changing with every single lap. When they say racing conditions, it means the track conditions and the handling of these machines. As we talked to Jason Anderson there, the last interview, he talked about how he had to try different race lines to try and counter or make up for how loose that the machines were at this track. And this was the KC Store 150, round 5 of the Extreme Motorsports 99.com Pro K&N Series, brought to you by the Extreme Motorsports 99. Well, Dave, any thoughts?
Well, that was a great race. The drivers had to battle the track a lot, so it was a tough track. But next week we move on to Texas. It's a fast track. It's a driver's track, one of my favorite tracks. Can't wait to see what these guys do.
Oh, you and me both, brother. You and me both. And speaking of Texas Motor Speedway next week, that's going to be round 6, entitled the Rocket Chassis 200. That's the Rocket Chassis 200, round 6 of the Extreme Motorsports 99.com Pro K&N Series, brought to you by the Extreme Motorsports 99. Well, thanks for tuning in there, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you guys enjoyed the show, and we do want to thank you. We want to thank you guys for everything you guys do. We can never thank you guys enough. And thank you once again. And for all the new viewers, welcome to the Dre Broadcasting Network. For the existing and or returning viewers, welcome back to the Dre Broadcasting Network. We are glad to have you all. I am Sean Zulu and David Everly behind the cameras, and be sure to check out ExtremeMotorsports99.com, as they do have great things here, a great community belt, and also have they have greater things coming in the future as well. So check them out at ExtremeMotorsports99.com. Have a good night, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks for watching.